Get Warrior Tough, Mental Training 101 with Andrew Wittman and Dutch Coleman on 105.5 The Roar. And now back to Andrew and Dutch.
Back in the saddle. Andrew and Dutch. Dutch and Andrew. Getting Warrior Tough. All right, Dutch. I'm feeling, you know what, it's still a good week for me. The Patriots crushed those cow pukes. So I know you felt bad about the Redskins, but you got to feel good about how bad the Cowboys got beat.
I always feel good about the Cowboys losing. I always feel good when Tom Brady does well, with him being my fantasy starting quarterback, Deion Lewis, my starting running back.
Now, I love this because the Patriots gave that Lewis kid, he's like another throwaway. The Patriots always find these guys. They find a home, and they do great.
Amen. And I, me being the expert GM that I am on fantasy football, I plucked Tom Brady when no one else thought he was any good. See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw it. Oh, wow.
I used my first fantasy pick on a 7th-round NFL draft pick.
And no one saw it coming, man.
That's why I'm just like those guys over in the front office at New England. And I picked Deion Lewis knowing that he was going to have this type of season.
Boom. Because you are the most interesting man in the world. If Dutch Coleman picks you for his fantasy team, you're going to have a fantastic season.
I hope.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, so, hey, Dutch, we haven't even talked about the Phalanx, man. This thing's kicking off on December the 1st. We're filling up spots. We have a few left, right? For the first 25 folks that join the Phalanx, it's our weekly coaching calls. With your subscription, you're going to get personal and private coaching on your written vision, and even more importantly, your internal identity statement. Dutch and I normally charge, $500 an hour, $250 a half an hour for this type of high-level coaching. A lot of the slots have been taken, but if you pick up the phone and call the office right now at 864-977-1443 and secure your slot, man, you don't want to miss out on this. It's a huge deal. And here's some of the stuff that you're going to learn inside the Phalanx. The biopsychology is the science and the command and control over your body, mind, and emotions. So you're going to understand how your brain works in conjunction with your body and all the implications that brings for your performance. You identify and utilize the 4 levels of thinking. We learn to apply a critical thinking matrix. And we gain insight into the 5 different mindsets and key differences between the average and the elite performer. You learn to become a people whisperer, man. We tap into the laws of influence. Maintain complete control under pressure. Understand the 5 causes of conflict. Cultivate ground zero leadership. Now, all this stuff, man, really, a lot of people say, well, I'm not a high performer, man. I'm not in a but I have a stressful life. If you have a stressful life, then you need to be in the Phalanx. And I want to give some stats, Dutch, about just some stress out there on your physical health and your mental health. Dutch, did you know that 80% of all doctors' visits offices are stress-related disorders? 80% of all visits to the doctor is stress-related disorder.
Wow.
80%. At least 50% of all deaths in the United States are caused by cardiovascular diseases in which stress plays a significant contributing role. And Dutch, did you know, this blew my mind when I learned this stat, that most heart attacks happen around 9 a.m. on Monday mornings?
Ooh. Whoa, wow.
What's that say, man?
Wow. I wouldn't, I've never thought about that. That's very interesting there.
That's people, I mean, they are just not wanting to go to work. It's bugging them all weekend, and they finally cook off on Monday morning when it's time to go back. Severe stress is one of the most potent risk factors for stroke. Severe stress. Even more than hypertension. But hypertension, high blood pressure, as a stress-related disorder, afflicts between 30 and 80 million people in the U.S. And I was one of them, Dutch, when I was a 21-year-old sergeant in the Marine Corps. I was in great shape, about 7.5% body fat. My blood pressure was 140/90 because I was a stress monster. Man, I would spit shine my boots, and if somebody scuffed them, like you could see the veins on the side of my forehead pop out, dude. I was just so wound, so tight, man, that I would have popped off by now if I didn't learn how to get it under control. And that's what we teach you in the Phalanx, how to get complete control of stress. And I'll say this, is stress a factor of truth?
Yeah.
Well, it's a truth. It's just like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. And stress can either be positive or negative, and we always choose it to be positive in our lives because these facts happen if stress is a negative truth in your life. These negative facts happen. They're the consequences of allowing stress to be negative. And so in the phalanx, in mental toughness, we teach critical thinking, emotional intelligence, how to get this stuff under control, and immediately you'll get stress relief. Immediately. And then we'll teach you how to handle it going long term, but there's stuff that you could do immediately. And then you'll practice that and get it under control in your life on an everyday basis.
Now, Andrew, there's some people out there, there are a couple things. Number one, they don't know they're stressed. Stress is a silent killer. So there are a lot of people who don't know they're stressed or don't realize how stressed they are. They may know they're stressed, but they don't realize how stressed they are and the impact it's having on their daily activities, their long-term health. They don't realize those things. So you have that group out there that really, really needs to get on board with the phalanx. Then you have another group who says, well, Andrew, I don't have any stress. I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. I love life. I'm doing all this. But hopefully they heard when you said the people whisperer. Because what it allows you to do is maybe you're not having all kind of issues. But once you go through this training, you understand all these things from an educated standpoint, where you're getting all this information, you can begin to help others deal with it. That's the thing. So this isn't just about us, because otherwise me and Andrew would take this information and just remain healthy ourselves.
Right.
We walk around the earth just happy and healthy because we have this particular set of skills that keep us healthy. But what about the people at work? What about the people in your family? What about your children? What about your spouse? What about those other people who may not have those same skills as you, where you can now begin to have an influence in their life, impact their lives, because maybe the environment at work isn't healthy. And with your training, after you go through something like the phalanx, then what you can begin to do is apply that to your surroundings, and the people around you begin to benefit from your training and from your skills. And they may even want to know, well, how did you do that? How do you do that? Can you show me? Can you help me? And you can either one, choose to help them yourself, or you can choose to send them to the phalanx. So either way, it's not just about us. Again, or Andrew and I will walk away knowing that we're okay.
Right. And we pass this down to our families, and our families are doing well. And the folks that are inside our circle, we do influence them. And I love that what you said, Dutch, because it's not just about getting yourself, but because I call it pushing out your airspace. Once you ground zero leadership, dominate yourself, you have to influence yourself, then you begin to influence other people, and you can push out your airspace, and people want to be around you and in your bubble, inside your circle of influence, because there's peace there. I always like, I always like it when people want to be around me. They see me and they want to go out of their way and be like, Andrew, I'm over here, Andrew, and then there's other people in our lives. If don't shout them out, shout out their names or call in or tweet them out or anything, but you know who they are. But you avoid them, and you're like, oh, here comes so-and-so, man, and you duck down the other corner because it's like all they're bringing is drama. They're a sand trap. It's stress when they even show up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and you don't have to help people come up with those names on either side of the aisle.
No.
Those positive people or those negative people. We all have them. We all know who they are. We can point them out, and there's multiple people. I've been blessed as being a person that has always been on that positive side. I've always been that person that people gravitate towards, people want to be around. And it's a direct correlation to how I treat people, how I make people feel, how I consider their feelings, how I try and understand their perspective, how I calmly take in information, and I calmly try and do my best to consider what's coming out. Those are all things you're going to learn in the phalanx. Those are all things that you're going to not only learn, but if you already know them somewhat, it's going to become perfected. You become better at it.
Yeah, you'll master it and help everybody in your circle. So call the office at 864-977-1443. And listen, if you're a business owner and you want to bring peace into your office, man, get your key people, call the office. And we'll work with you, on pricing and stuff. If you're going to put a bunch of folks in, or you put your key people in, call the office and, bring peace to your office or to your entire business. And you know who your key people are. And you know what? I would take, I know this is diabolical, but I would take my most difficult people in my business, the ones that are like wrecking balls.
Right.
And I would sign them up. Instead of you trying to deal with them, let Dutch and I deal with them.
And I know we bring up price, but don't worry about price. You worry about the health of your organization. Give us a call.
Yeah, we'll worry about price. Yeah, we'll work. Yeah, but the most important thing is just to have the conversation.
Absolutely.
Don't get scared, man. We're not going anywhere. You know Dutch, you know me. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We're not here to cut and run. We're not in it to just grab and go. And again, if it doesn't work for you, and I said this last week on the air, and I said it on my video on the page, I'll give you your money back, man. Say that's crazy. You know what? Because I don't really care about if you're not happy with what we're doing, I'm not even gonna, someone said, well, tell me about that. I'm like, what's there to tell? They said, well, what hoops do I have to jump through? You can just call me up and say you're not happy with what we are, because we're not going to put out a garbage product, and I will just give you your money back. Boom, done. That's it. That's how sure I am that this stuff works, and how and if it doesn't work for you, I don't want you to be spending money on it anyway. I'll find you need to spend it on something else if it doesn't work for you. I'll give you your money back. It's crazy, but I'm the one taking the risk. That's how sure I am that this stuff works and how much it'll help you in your life and help your business and it'll help you people out there.
Now, and I think there's a kicker there, though, that I always say, and I always say this when I help people, whether it's academically or with their personal lives. Now, the onus is on you to apply it. We have data that this works. So the pressure's on you to apply it. The pressure's on you to really want this stuff, because if you really want it, it works. And we've seen it, we've done it, we've lived it, we've walked it out our own lives. We have hundreds of testimonies, if not thousands. This is something that is not only a knowledge-based thing, but it's an action-based thing. And when you begin to act with the knowledge that we're giving you, you can only win. You can only win. There is no other option. There's no other course. This is a winning program that with the information and your action, you're going to win.
Absolutely. And that's why I say I guaranteed the thing. Me personally. I'll write you the check back, man. If it doesn't work. Because I know it does. Yeah, I mean, I've been living this, Dutch, I've been making my living with a gun for 30 years, dude, in some of the craziest places on planet Earth. In some of the most stressful situations you can imagine, this stuff works. It's battle tested. I'm not telling you we don't tell you anything that we haven't practiced already. People go, oh, do you practice what you preach? No, I only preach those things that I've already practiced for years and years and years. And if I don't practice it, I'm not going to tell you to do it.
You're not the guinea pig. Andrew was the guinea pig.
I was, and my kids. Andrew, my wife, and my kids were my guinea pigs. It's already been worked out.
It's again, it's the type of people we are, the giving people we are. We feel this is a responsibility to pass this information on, and hopefully you will too. After you go through the phalanx, hopefully you'll feel the responsibility to share the word with others, whether it's through Andrew and I, or it's through you in your circles in your life. It's on you and coming upon you to pass the word on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Call the office. Don't delay. 864-977-1443. 864-977-1443. Let's have the conversation. Don't be scared. No one's there's only upside here, guys. Only upside. All right, Dutch, the hour is gone. Do you believe that?
I always said, wow, every time. It goes by so fast.
And an hour with you is like basking in sunshine on a tropical island, my friend.
Is this before or after the hurricane?
In the middle of it, man. You're like the eye of the storm, man. I love you, Dutch Coleman.
I'll allow it.
All right, I'll see you next week.